Hello, beauty babies! John here with some really good news about game key cards. So, publisher INN is currently publishing R-Type Dimensions 3 on Switch 2, and it was only on a game key card. And they're trying to soften the blow for users by explaining why exactly. And the case was because it would be an extra €15 to put it on a game card. The only Switch 2 game card that existed was the 64GB one. And that appears to no longer be the case. I'm going to read the entire tweet they've put out. We're happy to share a positive update regarding the Nintendo Switch 2 version of R-Type Dimensions 3. There is no better timing. 2 days ago, Nintendo announced 2 new smaller cartridge sizes for Nintendo Switch 2. This allows us to recalculate production in a way that wasn't possible before. As a result, we've made the following decision. The entire European and US production of R-Type Dimensions 3 for Nintendo Switch 2 will be released on a full physical cartridge. A little downside to this positive news. The price for the retail and the special edition for Nintendo Switch 2 version will increase by €10 due to the still higher production costs. However, as a small thanks to our early adopters, current pre-orders will stay at the same price. We'd like to sincerely thank the community for the passionate discussion, the feedback, and the patience over the past few days. Your enthusiasm for physical releases, and for R-Type in particular, made this solution possible, and we're very happy to be able to deliver a true cartridge release. So this is still going to be €10 more expensive than a game key card would have been. And they specify there's 2 new sizes, which I think we have to assume are 32GB and 16GB. Just the in-betweens between 64GB. It doesn't sound like they're going as low as 4GB or 8GB like Switch 1 had. But this is definitely going to change a lot when it comes to game key cards. But yes, the production costs will likely be passed on to the consumer with slightly higher prices. But I think many physical owners will be willing to do that, to have it on a cartridge in the first place. And there are many Switch 2 games where you look at them and you want to shake them, because it makes no sense for why they would be on a 64GB card. It's like Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S. That's a 4GB game. They opted for a game key card, but if it were on a regular game card, that would be like 60GB of wasted space, while also being significantly expensive to even do that. So those lower capacity game cards have a real place in this industry, and there are many games going around now that are 16GB and 32GB. Sonic X Shadow Generations, for instance, that's a 22GB game, I want to say, and that would easily fit on a 32GB card, and it would also benefit Nintendo, because with Donkey Kong Bonanza, I think that's in the 20GB realm, maybe even around the 10GB realm. That's on a 64GB game card. So Nintendo themselves can also save production costs by not forcing their small games, their 10, 20GB games onto a 64GB game card. So fantastic news. Definitely doesn't solve the issue of the entire physical landscape, and I'm sure many third parties will still opt for game key cards because they're cheaper. But also because they can hold more space, because it's just infinite, whatever a digital copy can allow, which is just whatever your Switch can allow. But really good news either way, and hopefully more publishers follow suit. This is, really fresh news. It seems like 2 days ago they told publishers about this, so I wouldn't expect it to suddenly change everything. But over the course of 2026, when production and distribution starts to ramp up for new games, there may be changes. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. What a nice holiday update we've had. Just a little bit of good news among the constant negativity online. So thank you so much for watching, everybody, and happy holidays. Whatever you're celebrating. Are you celebrating, I don't know, a new haircut? Is that your big holiday celebration? I have no idea, but I hope that you had a good one, and we'll catch you next year. We have other pre-recorded stuff, but this is probably the last thing that I record for GVG this year. So catch you next time, everybody. Bye-bye.